Hi everyone, I'm Nupur Pandey, Director Facilitating Excellence, and I'm back with you. Um, we are going to have a very exciting session with Dr. Richa Saxena. Uh, hi Kanav, hi, thank you for joining in. We're waiting for Richa to join in. Wonderful. Hi Richa, thank you so much for joining in.
No problem, my pleasure.
So everyone, we have Richa with us today. Richa is an obstetrician, gynecologist, academician, author of 13 books, medical and fictional, and a very, very passionate women health advocate. I had to actually practice obstetrician a lot before this. So you are a woman with so many hats, Richa, and it's an honor to have you on board. This session that I do is mostly about sharing experience. Is mostly about learning from you. And today, you have so much experience. You've kind of done. You're a doctor. You're an academician. Authoring 13 books is like wow. So today I would like to kind of help everyone who's joining us, and a lot of people have started joining in. Share about your journey of how it's been, and we are going to discuss. We've been This month's issue has been on emotions, so I want to kind of discuss about how has your journey been, how has your journey been. So how did it start? How did you become a doctor? And how did the entire journey of started? So we'll start from there, and then we'll kind of take you through how did you come to the passion of working on women's health. So over to you, Richa. You tell me, and yeah.
And it's my honor to be with you. And okay, so to start with, how I became a doctor, it was like normally when you are 5 6 years old, every girl wants to become a doctor and every boy wants to become an engineer, and that was all there. Then by the time I reached my ninth, 10th, I was a confused kid. I did not know whether I should become a doctor or should I take up computer sciences, because the interest in computer sciences had started developing. And then I turned on to my parents. What do I do? They left it on me. You decide. Then decided, okay, fine, I'll take computer sciences. Then I have this bua in my family. She is a neurologist and she is based in US. So she was like, I'll be a little happier if you become a doctor. So that thing started nibbling somewhere that, okay, I should probably become a doctor. But again, I was confused. So my parents helped me in making my decision. My father, he took me to some scholarly person, that, okay, and he also did not impose his decision, or he did not tell me do this or do that. He just told me one thing, that see, you can do computer sciences anytime in your life. Even after 20 years, if you feel that you want to go into computers, you can do that. But if you leave bio in 11th standard, you'll never be able to get back to it. So that made some kind of sense to me. I mean, to a kid, I was in ninth or 10th at that time. So, like, yeah, he's right. So I decided, okay, I'll not give up my line. If I'm not happy with bio after 12th, I'll go into computers. So that was always there. So, and then somehow I think it was destiny. I liked that field and I continued moving into that. And then finally, I did my MBBS from Maulana Azad. Then I did my MD. Then I thought I'll, pursue further studies. And MRCUG was at that time, and even still now, it is like, a gold standard qualification in ops and gynae, and it is recognized through UK, the Royal College. So I thought that, okay, I'll take this qualification, and for that I went to UK. somehow, destiny always doesn't support you the way you want the destiny to support you. So unfortunate incidents happened and I fell sick, and then I decided that okay, fine. I realized that I'll not be able to practice as a surgeon and I will not be able to give 100% to it. So let me move into some kind of line where I'll be able to give my 100%. And then again, I think it was destiny that, I was able to move into academics. And when I moved into publishing, I also got the opportunity to write. And when I started writing, I realized that people were liking it somehow. So from one book, it went to the other, because the feedback, it's important that you get a good kind of feedback. So that was something which I kept getting. And when I got a positive feedback, then I also started teaching. And the matter of fact is that I was teaching them about MRCUG, the qualification which I once desired. So the MRCUG, sorry,
MRCUG you mentioning.
huh,
You're teaching.
yeah. So I was teaching about MRCUG, and then I saw that students, they were reading my books and they were attending my classes. So that went on. I mean, that became exciting. That okay, fine. So that's that. And then now I feel that to do something, because now is the time, I think, I give back to the society. Something needs to be done, and how can I help in my way? So I realized that okay, there are lots of health related issues, especially women related health issues, which need to be addressed. And Nupur, you won't believe that even the elite families or the elite society is also unaware about lots of problems like if we talk about, say, cancer, or normal problems like maybe menstrual hygiene, people are not aware of those problems and they don't know how to deal with it. And if they can take small precautions, it can save somebody's life. So that was the starting point, that maybe I can start some kind of online teaching programs, for women in general, so that they become aware about these things, these especially, like, I'll tell you, cervical cancer, which is so common in India. And it's one of the, I think, it's one of the most important causes of death in India amongst women. And that is something which can be prevented by a test as simple as a pap smear. Which,
Correct, correct.
I mean, the problem is people don't know that it has to be done. Maybe once in a while somebody will go and get it done because they have a problem. They don't know that it should be done regularly, after every 3 months, or after every 3 years or something like that. And same goes with breast cancer, which can be, again, which is a life threatening problem. And it can be prevented by a simple test like mammography, which is just almost like an x-ray. But because they are not aware, they are not getting it done. So that is how the women education thing started.
Which is, see, that is the beauty of it, that sometimes a simple lack of awareness can actually, I mean, an awareness point can save so many lives. Coming back to Richa, your journey of schooling, and you kind of making a choice on your subject of choice. So here's something which often comes to me, and we've been discussing about it also. Ki, you took a choice of taking up science. Now, as students, sometimes students are very confused. क्या ले क्या नहीं ले, पेरेंट्स कुछ बोलते हैं, they want to go for something else. What would be your insight about it, because even you had that choice.
I, I mean, there are two aspects to it. One
Yeah,
is person's own choice. And I think one should follow your own passion, because when you follow your own passion, whether it is science, whether it's arts, whether it is commerce, whatever it is, when you follow your own passion, you will do well in it. But if you're doing something which you're not really worried about, you're just doing it under compulsion, somewhere or the other you'll falter and you'll not be able to pursue it properly. And second, I think what is important is the role of the parents. In my case, they were not pressurizing. Even though my bua did tell me that I'll be happy, there was no pressure from any side. Nobody said that you have to become a doctor. Because if that pressure would have been there, I think, I would have not been comfortable with it. Or maybe I would have rebelled that, no, how can you guide, tell me? Because I think that
Correct.
happening with the kids, that they turn rebellious, and especially at that age when you're in ninth and 10th, somebody tells you do this, you will not do that.
You go against the current.
Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely.
You are told to make your own choice. I think that is what is important, that make your own choice, because then the kid is like, okay, fine, they are leaving it on me. So, and then you tell them that if you take this choice, this will happen, and if you take this choice, this will happen, then they'll take a logical decision. And again, it will also allow them to follow their passion. They will discover that, because like I was also, as a kid, I was also confused. I
Because
wanted take computer sciences, but then I eventually realized that my passion lied in the medicine and medical field.
see, that is a very beautiful takeaway, that once you have that option, then you become in a better position to take that, make that choice. वो आपको लगता है कि मैंने लिया वो choice rather than somebody imposing on me.
Yeah.
Beautiful takeaway. Another thing that I think I also found very interesting is when you realize that things really weren't. You went from from you. How did you kind of get into that publishing? I remember you discussing publishing wala course आपने pursue किया था when you realized. So how did you kind of come to that understanding? That was also something very interesting when I realized that.
See, everybody's life, I think, will have ups and its own ups and its own downs, and there will be downs and there will be ups. It's you have to, make your life. You have to take control of your life, and you have to kind of overpower the negative emotions which may develop in you as a result of the downs happening.
Correct.
Happen, but you have to kind of use your positive feelings like self-esteem or self-confidence, satisfaction, happiness, forgiveness, all these things, and you have to take control of your negative emotions like stress, anxiety, so on. Depression sets in lots of times, but then you need to take control of that and leave behind the baggage which happened in the past and move towards your future. I think that is what is important, because if you keep carrying the baggage which you have, you'll not be able to go further in life. So that's
Absolutely.
what is important, and that is what happened with me also, because for me to leave the clinical practice was not easy. It was not an easy decision. And even now, I think the reason why I want to move into having educational classes for women is that I want to use my medical expertise in some way. And taking that decision that full time into publishing was not a simple one, but then that is what life is, and you have to make best of what you get. Happiness lies within you, and happiness is a choice. You have to decide whether you want to be happy or not, because everybody will have downs and lows in life, but you need to decide what makes you happy, and you need to search and look for that kind of happiness. So I think that's what I did.
And that's a very positive art. In fact, that's the fighter spirit that we all look for in ourselves when we are in, when things just don't go our way, which often sometimes they don't.
It will
होता
happen.
है. हाँ, होगा.
You think something and then something else will happen. That's how life is. And
and
not just with me, I think with everybody faces that.
correct. And that is how where I come to a point that Richa, what happens, like कई बार lack of awareness भी होता है, और when we were talking about cancer and we were talking about people not going to get themselves checked, women especially. So what happens, I mean, इसमें ये factor भी होता है ना शायद कि there is a fear factor somewhere, कि people are afraid अगर ऐसा कुछ हो जाएगा तो क्या हो जाएगा, अगर निकल गया तो क्या होगा. So how does one deal with that?
See, I think there are again two aspects of this. One is there are lots of taboos in our society. Women, they don't, and plus cancer, if somebody is diagnosed, it is almost like, it's a cancer. I just say it's his, they have done something wrong.
Agreed, completely on board, yes. Which
So,
is not true.
yeah, exactly. And people also fear, especially the women, what will happen if I'm diagnosed with cancer? Who will take care of mine? Because again, people associate cancer with death. So again, they need to be aware that even a disease like cancer, if it is detected at an early stage, probably it can be 100% cured. And this exactly is the awareness which need to be brought, especially to the women, because the two most important cancers, breast cancer and cervical cancer, if they can be somehow controlled or they can be avoided, I think that will be a very great boon to our society, especially the women. And plus there are lots of taboos involved, that okay, the kind of checkup and the kind of treatment with cancer also. So all that needs to be raised. And again, I think the awareness, if it is brought, the awareness programs, and they are educated, I think that will take care of all these things.
So, is there a age group, age bracket in which women should get themselves checked up regularly after a point of time, or matlab, when should they start getting themselves just to kind of get a hang of it?
So for cervical cancer, it is after 25 years of age. And initially, it is every 3 years. So if your smear is fine, I mean, it is negative for any kind of pre-cervical lesions, then it is every a regular checkup after every 3 years. And for breast cancer, it's after every 5 years. Again, 25 to 30 no, it's a little 40 to 45 years for breast cancer. And again, it is still about 60-65 years of age, because after that, again, the cancer subsides. Both
So
survive.
it's a very doable thing. It's not that they have to go in every month or every 2 months
And
to get it.
they are told, I think, because people are not aware, people don't know about it. Even in the cities, how many people do you know, even in your family, even you yourself, or even I myself at times, we
Correct, absolutely.
said there's no problem, we'll probably go to the doctor for a checkup, something will come out, why should we go? Or women, they have to think, oh, I have to take care of the household, I have to take care of the kids, I don't have the time.
Women normally don't put health
Hmm.
as a priority.
Yeah.
So what do you think needs to be done to get women health as a priority for them?
One, self-awareness programs, the health education, and they have to also learn to take care about themselves. Don't you think so? They have,
Absolutely.
because I think, especially in India, the women, they are more of taking care of their families, their kids, all the rest of the everybody in the family, and not themselves. So they need to take some time out for themselves, so that at least these health related issues, they are tackled at that point.
Very nice. And Arch, I mean, we've discussed about challenges. Uh, can kind of help me some of the coping strategies that women can use when it comes to understanding what are how can, if someone does come to know that they're suffering from some of the ailments or some problems, gynec problems or some problems, what are the kind of physical problems, or and what are the coping strategies that they can kind of work with in terms of emotionally dealing with it?
Again, I think it is, we come back to the same thing. They have to develop some kind of positive emotions and have that kind of fighter spirit. and get rid of the negative emotions, the depression and the anxiety, and have that self-esteem. And here I think, if you what we can do, I think every woman, I think, must look in a mirror every day and tell herself that, I'm complete, I'm perfect, and I can take care of my family and I can take care of myself. So I think
Nice.
something like this is done by every woman every day, because I think women, they themselves, they feel that, they are inferior. So they need to have that, they need to empower themselves, and that is what is important.
Yeah, Aparna here says that one of the reasons women don't go is one, self-awareness, and second, it's scary. Yeah, we were discussing about that. That they feel it's very scary. It's the fear factor is more evident here.
I
Um,
think the fear factor can be removed through the education only. That is the main thing what I can understand. But because once they know what pap smear is, they are told, and they'll realize nothing. Like mammography sounds like a very big investigation, and especially when you realize that it is for cancer, you feel scared. Pata nahi kya hoga. But when you are told that it's just like an X-ray, it's nothing more than an X-ray, then you are like, okay, fine. So I
I
think,
agree. I completely agree. And also, probably some role of educating their family members and their, helping them deal with, support structure.
yeah,
So,
family
what? Huh.
has a very big role to play. And in our society, the family, it comprises of an extended family also. The family definitely has a very important role to play, because they have positive emotions. Because in my case, my parents and my brother, they were the main people who helped me develop the positive emotions and overcome all the problems I had. So I think if women, they have a supporting family, and that could be in form of their spouse, their parents, their kids, if they support them and help them overcome all these things by, kicking off the negative emotions and developing positive emotions, I think that should take care of it.
That's absolutely, and that's a very powerful thing to have a proper support structure in form of family, in form of friends. Uh, do we have some sort of cancer support groups here or in within the?
In India, we don't have, that is, again, like you said, that is very important. Because when you have those cancer support groups, you meet like people who have suffered from illness similar, and they have feelings which are similar to you. So you can discuss with them and how they cope up with their sickness. You get those kind of tips. We don't have that in India. That's a good idea, because through the self-awareness programs, probably we can also develop these kind of, support groups.
Yes, absolutely. That's a wonderful idea. Towards we almost, so one thing that I would actually kind of want to ask you is, um, we've already discussed that students nowadays how they deal with choosing a subject and stuff. But from your journey, from your experience, and if you were to take snippets of your journey, what are the few kind of learnings and lessons that you would like to give to the youth today, to the younger generations, to so that they can kind of from both from women, the work that you're doing with women, the and also your own learning journey, your own emotional journey. So what are the few snippets, what are the few learnings that you would want them to take?
See, one thing is follow your passion. And second thing is do whatever you do it 100%. If you would have watched the movie Lakshya, Hrithik Roshan, I think the first scene is, कि मैं घास काटने वाला बनूंगा, but जो भी है, I'll do it 100%. So चाहे घास काटो, but do it 100%. I believe in that. कि do whatever you do, even if it is a small thing, even if it is a humble beginning, you do it 100%, you will definitely be successful.
Correct. Absolutely. That's a very beautiful takeaway, because when you give your 100%, the focus also is there. So there is no place for even kind of diverging or digressing yourself. Thank you so much, Richa. I am so honored again to have you with us. It was a
Oh, no,
wonderful discussion.
my honor to be on your, show. I'll call it a,
Show.
to push.
It's just my effort to kind of see your journey. Like your journey was has so much to kind of help us and grow everywhere. Okay? And then with your program that you're coming up with, the cervical cancer, the breast cancer, the awareness for women, it needs to reach out to people. So I think I'm very, very honored that you can we can talk about the program that you're coming up with on this platform. So let's kind of work with this, and all the best. And thank you again for this session and coming on this program. Yeah, we actually are getting a lot of comments here with saying beautiful and enlightening discussions, amazing session. Thank you so much. I will.
Because if I can help somebody in any way through my experience, I'll be more than an honor. So if somebody has a question, you can please put it up.
I think what we can do is we can also wait, and if there are any questions, they can also share on the coming up. And you also have a program coming up, right? You're launching your first session, so you can also share about that here. On 20, the next 26th, you're launching your first session.
No. That's a webinar. I am also Aparna Trivedi mammography.
She's asking about mammography. What is it all about?
It's
What
basically it's an X-ray of the breasts, and if because initial precancerous lesion, there'll be some kind of calcifications which will be seen on the X-ray, and that is if that is detected, then probably a breast biopsy can be done to see whether the cancerous tissue is not there, because if it is detected, then the early stage, it'll be detected in the early stage itself. And with any cancer, the main thing is that it does not spread, because once it is localized and it is limited, it can be excised and probably it'll be 100% cured. But once it starts spreading to the surrounding tissues and it has involved the bones or it has involved the lymphatics is kind of blood vessels. So if it has started spreading through the breast, through the blood vessels, or it has started spreading through the lymphatics, then it may reach other organs. And at that time, the treatment becomes very difficult. And majority of people at that time, they may not survive for very long. So,
Yeah, so her question also is it painful? She's heard it's painful. Is it painful?
not at all. Not at all. Not They might be, because they might require to place the breast tissue in such a way it may result in a little discomfort. That's all. There's no pain involved. Not at all.
And another question from Akansha is breast pain before period normal?
Absolutely normal. That is related to the hormonal changes which are taking place in the body. So that is, and it'll subside when your periods occur. The breast pain will subside. So that is absolutely normal. In fact, it is a indication that ovulation is taking place. So in a way, it is a good sign.
Oh wow. See, this is something that not many people know.
Yeah,
That breast
that's
wow,
what
this is
people
yeah.
need to be educated about. And that's what I thought, that maybe through the awareness program, because women, and today I have also realized that they want to know. Internet is a huge source of information. People don't have a authentic, reliable source of information from where they can get some authentic information. So if they have a source that yes, we can trust this website or this person with the information, then they'll go there.
Absolutely. See, this is these informations, like even breast pain in young girls, who are just having their puberty. So is that very common? So this is a question that I'm asking you. Puberty age make your breast pain common hai?
because in puberty also there might be lumps in the breast which are usually not malignant. They are malignant means they're not usually cancerous, because cancer usually does not affect that age group. And what is common in that age group is a thing known as a fibromyoma. Don't get this thing by its key fibromyoma ये क्या है? That is a completely benign is non-cancerous growth, and it is very common. It is also known as a fibroid.
So is
And
it also very
completely removed. So that may be commonly present in young girls, but that is
but
absolutely it is absolutely non-cancerous, nothing to be scared of, and it can be removed.
okay. And it has the same way of testing by, as you have the breast cancer initial testing.
For young girls, especially if it is painful and the girl is very young, it is unlikely that she would be having a cancer. Even an ultrasound we can do, and we can make out if it is just a nodular structure or it's a cystic structure. So even an ultrasound would work in that case.
Yes, a lot of info, but not sure what the right one is. Yes, that is why awareness is very important, and that is why your program is very, very crucial, and it's coming at the right time because you're reaching out in the right time. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Richa. And I'm sure a lot of women are looking forward to your program right now. I am personally looking forward to it more than ever now. So thank you so much for coming on our program. And oh, there's another. PCOD is curable, and does it lead to any other disease?
PCOD is not really curable because, but yes, there are cures available to deal with the symptoms. Like PCOS may result in menstrual irregularities, it may result in infertility. So there are medication, or it may result in excessive body hair. So there are medications available which help in reversing these symptoms. This is Kavita. So there are medications available which help in reversing the symptoms. But yes, PCOS, it's per se cannot be removed. The disease will remain there, but the symptoms can be taken care of. So if somebody has PCOS, young girls, they are worried. What I've come across, lots of young women, because nowadays PCOS is again a very common problem. And nearly, you will be surprised, 5 to 10% of female population is suffering from PCOS. So out of 100, almost every 5 to 10 women, they have PCOS. And, young girls, the parents are worried that, where if she gets married, will she be able to conceive? Will her periods normalize? So all that can be taken care of. Because now with medical sciences, there are medicines available which will help the person ovulate. So PCOS, nobody needs to be really, I've heard thyroid affect female reproductive system. Yes, but again, this is Akansha. Thyroid does affect female reproductive system, and it may result in lots of problems. For example, there may be difficulty in conceiving, there may be recurrent miscarriages. But again, this is a thing which can be tackled. Thyroxine hormone, the tablets are available. Lots of people must be knowing Eltroxin, and that contains thyroxine. So lots of other preparations are also available related to thyroid hormone, and that will take care of all these problems. So again, it does result in problems, but it can be taken care of. Because I think that is more important, that you have medicines available which can take care of the problem.
So yeah, it's curable. It's yeah, like you're saying. I don't know what the correct usage is. Curable hai ya nahi hai wala pata nahi, but then it is something which can be looked at and worked with.
Yeah.
I agree. Wow, this is like amazing. It is amazing. Thank you so much, Richa. Guys, if you have more questions, please keep them coming. Otherwise, we'll wrap up in another few minutes. And this was a very enriching session, personally for me also, because itna sara questions. Acha, one never realizes there are so many questions, you know, because hote hain dimag mein, but never kind of goes
That
out there.
and this I have experienced before also lot, and especially the women, they have lots of questions. And the thing is that when they realize that yes, like in my office there was a very young girl who came with this problem PCOS, that ladke wale aa rahe hain dekhne, and what will I do? And I told her, don't worry, it's absolutely fine. You don't have to worry about it at all. So I realized that, if they are taught, they are counseled, then everything is fine.
See,
So that,
that is the awareness thing that you're talking about ना. मुझे तो इतनी खुशी सी हो रही है ना इस वक्त.
nee, that's on your face also.
Very very happy face ना. चलिए, so I think Richa, I don't see any more questions coming. So what we'll do is, let's kind of abhi we'll wrap it up, and if I have more questions, then I'll मैं आपकी तरफ direct कर दूंगी.
हाँ.
ठीक है.
In fact, our email ID, it is richa@drrichasaxena.com. So if you have any questions, you can email me on that.
Dr. Richa, I'll probably type it. Dr. Richa.
Hey, it is richa@drrichasaxena.com. You're typing it.
Yeah, I'm typing it. I just hope I typed the right spelling. See, you know. So this is wonderful. There are a lot of people who will connect with you, I'm sure, because your wo will be flooded now. So please do connect with Dr. Richa, and it was again wonderful to have you with us, Dr. Richa, and
For the
we will.
because I would not have met these wonderful people and these questions.
I think I already have a demand of you getting back, because I normally have only one session with one person, but आपके लिए मुझे लग रहा है कि मुझे एक और session continue रखना पड़ेगा. So I think one more session, I would probably take time and have one more session with you. Right? Thank
Yes,
you.
we can solve it now, but yes, we will talk about the next session definitely.
Chaliye. Thank you so much, and lovely having you. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating, for asking your questions. It was a great thing. I will also share this on YouTube, my YouTube channel, and also tag you there, and LinkedIn. Thank you, Richa. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a great
Bye.
day, and thank you once again for joining me.
Thank you.
Bye.